Hey, welcome to the official holiday season. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Usually that means you ate a lot of good food, hung out with family, and maybe watched a little football. I'm sure before your dinner, someone stood up and said some words about what they were thankful for, implying you should be thankful as well. Typically, we are thankful for family, good health, and things that make us comfortable, like a nice house. I'm sure you are like me and you agree with all of those things in that moment, and then in the next moment, you are ready to eat the great food that's in front of you. It's not like I stopped being thankful for family, good health, and nice things. It's just that I'm on to what's next, the delicious food in front of me and the lazy day that awaits. So what does it really mean to be thankful longer than the several minutes before you eat turkey on Thanksgiving? In chapter 18 of Luke's book about Jesus' life, Jesus tells this story about two people who went to pray. They were very different people. One was a religious person, probably wealthy. The other person was a tax collector for the Roman government. He was considered a criminal by the religious people because he took their money and gave it to the Romans who had invaded their country. The religious person prayed out loud. He was thankful he wasn't like everyone else, a crook, an evildoer like this tax collector over here, referring to the other person. Now, was he really thankful? He compared himself to others as a way of showing his thankfulness. Think about that. How often do we compare ourselves to someone else, and we are not simply thankful we are not them? We have a nicer house, live in a better neighborhood, or have better health than someone else. And especially at Thanksgiving, we live in a country with a form of government better than others. I'm not saying we shouldn't be thankful for those things we are fortunate to have, but what if we dove in a little deeper? When I dive in beneath all of the shiny stuff on the surface for which I am thankful, I realize I am thankful for this life I get to lead. At a very basic level, I get to make choices about my life that can affect the lives of others around me. Every human being gets a life they get to lead. Sure, some of us are born into more favorable circumstances, but all of us have one life and everyday choices on how we lead ourselves. The other guy in Jesus' story, the tax collector, didn't make eye contact with the religious person who was comparing their lives. He looked down, pounded his chest, and pleaded with God to show his mercy and compassion and forgiveness for him. He was honest about who he was. Out of his honesty and confession will grow an authentic desire to do better, to make a difference. Jesus tells the people who are listening to this story that this man, who valued his life and understood its impact on others, is the one who showed the most gratitude. He leaves the ending of the story open-ended, though. We don't know what choices this man made following his heartfelt prayer to God. It is easy for us to compare ourselves with others and be grateful. The opposite is also true. We can become not grateful in our comparisons, which leads us to become envious of others. Jesus is telling us this is wrong. We have the opportunity to be grateful for our very lives and the choices we make on how our lives will matter in the world. So how does your life matter? What choices will you make to show your gratitude? Your story is open-ended too.